Hi everybody, hey, this is Caroline Sotheby and welcome to Up, Down, and Around Town. And as you can see, we're still on the road, hoping that maybe in another month or so we'll be back at the studio. But I'll start off with last week I went and got the camera and got the marquee at Roosevelt High School, just to give us an idea what is in the program. And so far, Teddy's Florist was having an advertisement and a couple of sports scheduled programs. Anyway, we'll go with that in the later part of the movie or the show or whatever we want to call this thing. So it's like one positive thing though with the council meetings, things were on the agenda pertaining to the art fair. So it looks, at least at this point, we're going to have an art fair this year, and there's going to be rowing on the river. Well, that sort of sets us up for what's coming up. We have sports. We had a lot of information about what programs were canceled, what's starting up. Marty Janeski, who's the coach of bowling, girls bowling, finally had a session last Tuesday, and he said they did great. The only bad situation is you have to accommodate what the rules and regulations are for the bowling alley. You're staying only on one alley, you don't have any food, no drink, no water, and so on. But that's, at least they got their chance to get out and compete, and the girls did fairly well. Marty even said there was one girl, I didn't get the name though, that actually had a 400 score for 2 games. So we're going to have to find out from him sooner or later who that person was. The next time they play, they want to play against Divine Child, and that might be in 2 weeks' time. Okay, that's bowling. One other thing we found out about is hockey. The hockey situation is something else. It's back and forth, you know, with the February 1st and the February 22nd, and a lot of things are being tickled up in Lansing to figure out exactly what date anybody can go play sports. But the kids are practicing. Went down to Yak Arena. Roosevelt hockey team is out there practicing. Next group was Gabriel Richard. And you know, it's different how they programmed it. Roosevelt had the goals on both sides of the rink. Richard did something different. On the first part section, they had the goals going across from one another, so they had 2 goalies there. And another part was another set of goals and 6 kids practicing there. Had to stay there for a little while longer, and I saw the little ones come in. Of course, the Zamboni had to come first, you know, clear up the ice. And then the little ones came on the ice warming up. And I'll tell you what, you got to see them. They really look great. I never was able to skate backwards. They can skate backwards. And that little goalie with all that padding, he could hardly skate. But give them credit. They're on the ice, they're exercising, and they're having a good time. With them, though, let's see. There's some new rules and cancellations. So with hockey, though, on February 1st, Wyandotte is supposed to be at Grosio, and Gabriel Richard will go to Carlson on the 9th of February. So that's something at least that's tentative. And the swim has already had one, and they will be playing Edsel Ford at Wyandotte on the 11th. With the basketball, that's sort of iffy. If you notice that I took just a flash of the Michigan High School Athletic Association schedules. Basketball had many cancellations, And the boys are going to play, though, at least they're scheduled right now, on the 24th at Lincoln Park. And then Brownstown Woodhaven is going to be at Wyandotte on the 26th of February. We're already thinking February, right? Okay. The girls, meanwhile, will start at Garden City on the 25th. That's basketball. And like you mentioned, I mentioned hockey. If you notice, there were a lot of cancellations, and they finally came to agreement on that. What else we don't know? I think it all depends on what develops up in Lansing, and hopefully Yak Arena and all the other sports will be available. For some people, though, that would like to get more information, since we don't have local sports wrap-up and sports line right now, Hank McKevich for the Wyandotte Warriors has a little clip on the girls basketball and also the boys hockey. So even though you can see some sports news on Wyandotte Cable, you got a chance to see that. All right. How many times have you put on a council meeting or education meeting on Channel 16 and all of a sudden find out, wow, a presentation is being shown? I often wonder what it takes for these teachers to go virtual. That's another thing. The two words that came from last year was essential, and then virtual, and now Zoom. So virtual is sort of taking over the regular communications. This technology has come out, and on last week's Education Commission show, as I was walking through the room, I started hearing music, and I looked, and I said, oh gee. There were 35 blocks of all individual kids, and Mark D'Angelo, the instructor down below, and with them being in individual homes, they actually had a song. It was beautiful, and it's like, I said, called up Dr. Catherine Koss, and I says, please, can I have that on our show? Besides asking Mark D'Angelo if it's okay, who else should I ask? And she says, do you know Jeff Trudell? Yeah, I know Jeff Trudell. He used to be a volunteer, cable volunteer. And so she said, ask him for a copy of it. So I called Jeff, and he willingly sent it to us. So how about taking the time and just see what that department can actually do with the many bands and setups. Take it away, okay? Okay, that gives you a bird's eye view of what some of the teachers are doing for this virtual learning. It's a good thing that they're coming back to school, but at the same time, it gives you, the public, an idea of what can be done. It takes more time and effort. But I gotta mention something. Not only is Mark being active with the kids in the school, he's doing something now. It's called Wednesday Waiting Room. And he is contacting former students who have become professionals. And this week, he's got 3 of the Palmer girls talking about what advance they have done from the time they were at Roosevelt in the music department. But last week, he had talked to Zach. And Zach right now is in Nashville. He has 1 record already out, in the process of getting his 2nd album out. And we did just do a clip from the outside of the front room looking at the television to give you somewhat of an idea who he is and what he looks like.
And I wonder if they built you when I'm the talk of all this town. You may not know the truth about me if you come from afar. 'Cause I'm this local bar, Grand Ole Opry star. Well, I'll sing a song of sadness for the love that got away. And I'll sing a song of a romance on a couple special days. You both start too intoxicated to say that I ain't up to par. 'Cause I'm this local bar, Grand Ole Opry star.
Not only had he talked about what career Zach is in right now, he also mentioned something about he was taping this in January. And back in 2009, in January, the school actually sent the band to Washington, D.C. I had got my mementos out, and this is something that I'll cherish because we not only got a thank you for having Mark on the show, and he talked about it, but the Mary, who was the principal at the time, and Mark sent a thank you letter, and I've kept it all this time. And you can see in the postcard, it's the band with the wind-up sign in front of it. So thanks for the memories, okay? Well, Mark D'Angelo happened to mention on his new program about January being inauguration month, and this was a different year. But he mentioned something about 2009. So I got my little mementos out from that year, and it showed Wyandotte being represented in Washington, D.C. What really thrilled Jack and myself was our letter that we got from Mary McFarland, who was a principal at the time, and Mark had signed it, thanking Jack and myself for having him on the show and talking about the inauguration itself. And so with that, I thought I'll bring it out this time because that's time of year, right? All right, we're almost getting time to wrap up. There are a lot of things coming up. I talked to Eileen, and she's considering a pop-up shop, and that's going to be next to R.P. McMurphy's. If you want to find out more, she's going to have a date of March 5th to the 7th at her place, and March 12th to the 14th. A lot of things in store for that. If you want to know more, if you want to get in with the store, it's 734, what is this, 552-1152. Also, when we talked to Lindsay from the Teddy's Floral Shop, she said she'd be giving us more up-to-date information next week. So hopefully our next show will have it. Try calling Frank's Pizzeria who was supposed to be opened in December, but because of the rules and regulations, I'm hoping that he'll start up again February 1st. Anyway, another note from Justin Lanigan of the Yak Arena. Copeland Center will have the distribution on February 17th, and that runs from 9 to noon. One other thing, until the end of June, Gleaners comes in with their food distribution. It's usually 2 Fridays in a month from 9 to 11. And for February, that will be February 5th and the 19th. So if you want some food, if you know somebody that could use it, could spare it, go down there and find out what you can do. Meanwhile, I hope you're enjoying yourself as best as we can. You take care. Keep on washing those hands. Keep safe, okay? Take care, and we'll see you next time on Up, Down, and Around Town. Bye-bye now.